You know, eating the foods of foreign lands can be a lot like visiting foreign lands. Intriguing, enlightening, exciting, exotic, educational, frustrating, tedious, confusing, intimidating. This is certainly true of the cuisine of Japan and especially true of sushi. Excuse me a second. Pardon me. Maguro nigiri, please.
Kami, Toro, or Otoro?
Toro.
Chutoro?
Chutoro. Watch me. Amazing with my knowledge. Actually, I'd rather have shimafuri.
Wrong. How about no sushi for you? How about some chicken teriyaki?
Okay, that'd be great. As you can see, even ordering sushi can be a little bit of a challenge, which makes sense. I mean, you got strange ingredients, many of which are completely raw, a dozen of distinct styles, and enough ritual, tradition, and custom to make a Western head spin. And yet, whether enjoyed at your local sushi ya or in the privacy of your own home, sushi is that rare combination of flavor and fun, texture and tradition, nutrition and nuclear science that we like to call There's no better way to learn about sushi than to hang out and eat at a sushi bar or sushi ya. Now, since the sushi chef or itamae practices his or her craft right at the counter, sitting at the bar is kind of like going to culinary school. Now, this would be a good time for me to give you my very favorite sushi phrase. Omakase onegashimasu. Now, it essentially means you're putting yourself completely in the chef's hands. It's a vote of confidence that never fails to rev the pride engine of an itamae. He'll break out his finest skills, his sharpest knives, his top quality sea critters, just to prove that you did the right thing. I'm gonna give it a try. Excuse me. Omakase onegashimasu.
Wrong again. I told you, no sushi for you, no chicken, no nothing.
Freeze program. Excuse me just a moment, won't you? I think the itamae program is still running just a little bit hot. Check out the programming, okay? I don't know. Looks like if I want sushi, I'm gonna have to take matters into my own hands. Legend has it that sushi was invented about 1,000 years ago when an old woman who lived in the woods of Japan had just sat down to eat a big pot of rice. She heard some bandits coming and fearing they would take her rice, she climbed a tree and hid it in the nest of a large seabird. By the time the bandits departed and she finally got back up the tree, the rice had partially fermented and it was completely littered with bits and pieces of fish left by the seabird. She tasted it, it was great, and thus sushi was born. When it comes to specialty foods like sushi, I take the kit approach and keep all the basic parts together like a tool or sewing kit. Remember, America, organization will set you free. Now, sushi is perfect for kitting because so many of the basic bits and pieces have long shelf lives. Now let's take a look at my basic kit here. Let's see, we've got the basic condiment, the ketchup of Japan. Dark soy sauce, I use this all over the kitchen, but I don't want to run out, so I keep some in here. We've got some rice wine vinegar, a slightly sweetened vinegar that has got to be used on the sushi rice or meshi. Now speaking of rice, because it's got to be sticky but never mushy, we can't use long or medium grain rices. What's perfect is Japanese short grain rice, but unfortunately the Japanese do not export any of their rice. Luckily, California grows some excellent hybrids, so we're okay there. Let's see, now we've got nori. Now, if anybody's ever told you that these green sheets are made of seaweed, they were very much mistaken. It's algae, harvested from the shore, dried on racks, and pressed into sheets. Now, these are very, very susceptible to moisture, so I generally buy packages that contain just a few sheets as opposed to these big guys. That way, you don't have to open them and let all the moisture in. You can see they come with those little packs of desiccant stuff. You can feel them in there. You don't want to eat those. Bad eats. Okay, let's see. I've got a special rice spoon, which is good, and I've got a couple of different rolling mats for making rolled or maki sushi, and we'll get into those later. Oh, almost forgot. Wasabi, that green hot stuff that's often lurking inside your little pieces of sushi. Oddly enough, both the powdered and the paste form contain almost no, if any, wasabi. That's because it is extremely hard to find and extremely expensive and, well, come here. Real wasabi is a rhizome that comes from an evergreen member of the mustard family. Now, it's very picky stuff. It only grows in certain kinds of soil and on well-drained but moist, shaded hillsides. Some wasabi is grown in Oregon as well as New Zealand, and it's pretty good, but real sushi aficionados will tell you that the Japanese version is superior in every way. Now, in top sushi shops, whole roots are grated into little bowls via shark skin graters, really. And it's used as a garnish, but it's got none of that hot pungency of the powdered green stuff that you see in lesser stores. It's floral and sweet with just a little bit of, right in the background. While we're here, we should probably make mention of pickled ginger or gari. Although it's not an absolute necessity when making or serving a sushi, it is a common palate cleanser, something you would eat in between other pieces of sushi. Now, the manufactured type is usually made with a dyed vinegar, so it's orange or pink. Homemade stuff is usually white, but that's another show. The first step to making sushi rice, or meshi, wash the grains in cold water. This will remove this nasty powdery starch residue, which will become a gummy annoyance if left in place. Just keep washing and draining until the water runs clear. 3 changes usually does the trick. Sushi rice is usually cooked with an equal portion of water by volume. So this 2 cups of rice will go into the pot along with 2 cups of fresh water. No. Sushi rice does not get salt at the point of cooking. Now, we'll bring this to a boil over high heat, uncovered, and we'll cover as soon as we achieve bubblage. Yes, rice cookers are very popular, and they're capable of producing sushi rice. If your household goes through a lot of rice, then you might want to consider a machine, especially one that includes a warming function and fuzzy logic that keeps the rice from burning. Problem is, this is a unitasker, and we've got rules about that kind of thing around here. When the time is up on the rice, just kill the heat and leave everything right where it is for another 10 minutes. In the meantime, combine 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of kosher salt, and 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar in a microwave-safe container. Mix up best as you can and stash in said box for 30 to 45 seconds on high heat, of course. Now, the point here is to dissolve most of the sugar and salt. There is not, however, enough liquid to dissolve it all, but there will be once we have a little extra liquid from the rice. When the meshi is done, dump it into a large bowl, preferably a wooden bowl, and unvarnished would be nice. Wood will wick away excess moisture, but it won't suck the heat out of the rice too quickly the way a big metal bowl would. If you don't have a big wooden bowl, like a salad bowl, just use the biggest glass bowl that you can get your hands on. It'll be okay. Slow cooling is really crucial if the rice is going to absorb the next hit of flavor and develop a sticky but not gummy consistency. Now, once the rice is spread out a little bit, drizzle on the vinegar mixture and cut it into the rice with a spatula. Don't stir, okay? That would just rile up the starch coat. Think slashing motions here. Now, traditionally, at this point, an assistant would come in with a fan, not to cool you down, but to cool the rice and dry the vinegar sugar syrup onto the outside of the grains. That is what is going to ensure the stickiness needed to create stable 3-dimensional forms without having to squeeze the rice into dense little dumplings. Now, if you don't have a fan, a paper plate will do the job very nicely. And once the rice is completely cool, and yes, you'll have to fan it until it's at room temperature. It'll just take a couple of minutes. Place a moist towel over it and stash it in a relatively cool place in your kitchen until you're ready to make your sushi shapes. Whatever you do, do not put it in the refrigerator. The grains will get hard and lose their subtle adhesive qualities. It is a sad and simple fact of life that food can make you sick. And if meat is on the menu, the chances of this goes up. And if raw fish is on the menu, well, let's just say that the most important question a beginning sushi man can ask is not, what fish will I prepare, but where will I get the fish that I prepare? Now, this is John, my fishmonger. Fish is what he does. Fish is all he does. Good afternoon, John.
Hey, Alton, did you come here to pay your bill today?
Pay my bill?
Young man.
No, really, I was coming in because I'm thinking about sushi tonight. What do you think?
Sushi.
He's got a lot to think about.
Well, I'll tell you what, today we got some great red snapper that just came in. Some wonderful mahi-mahi. We even have pompano. But I tell you what, today I would have to say for sushi, go with the tuna, which is yellowfin, and the Spanish mackerel.
Tuna